Ciao! Thank you for joining me. Today, I would like to take you on a tour of my painting, Il Duomo di Santa Maria Assunta e Campanile, a place that you may all know and love as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So, this is my painting. It's a 16 by 20 watercolor on handmade paper made in Italy. And I would like to show you the detail here. This is a close-up of my painting. But first, I would like to show you some slides of Pisa. It is a really lovely town. You can see here in this photo, one of the things I love about Pisa. The town that surrounds the cathedral has beautiful red roofs and stone buildings built mostly in the Middle Ages and Renaissance. And another interesting thing is this cathedral actually consists of three buildings. It's called the Piazza De Marikoi, which is called the Piazza of Miracles. And so it consists of the tower, the bell tower, which is called a campanile, and the baptistry, which you can see on the left. I'd like to show you the previous photo again. You can see the bell tower to one side of the cathedral and the baptistry on the other with the cathedral in the middle. And those three things make the Piazza of Miracles, Piazza De Marikoi. So the next one is another view. You can see the church a little better in this one because it is a little closer. And also that green lawn is something else that it's known for. It's surrounded on all sides by that, and that is the campus of the Piazza De Miracoli. Here's another view of the cathedral. You can see the baptistry on the far side of it in the town of Pisa in the distance. But this shows you the cruciform floor plan that is typical of churches built in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. And here's a peek at the inside of the cathedral, which I think is just beautiful because it is adorned with mosaics that just glisten in the light coming in the windows. I love the way that it just glows with light. So now let me talk about the details of my painting. This elliptical dome is something that was inspired by Byzantine designs. You can see it's got a bit of an egg shape as opposed to a perfect half circle. And this was the first of its kind built in Europe. And it's surrounded with a rim of arches in a Byzantine style. So everybody admired this dome and then wanted one for their own town. The building was designed by Buscetto in 1063 to celebrate a naval victory with the town of Palermo in Sicily. I found that very interesting myself. So this style of architecture is called Pisan Romanesque, and it is unique to this area. You can see part of it, what makes it Pisan Romanesque, part is the dome, but also part are the blind arches on the sides of the building. And a blind arch just means that you can't walk through the arch. It's etched into the wall. And the reason they do that is because it looks pretty, but it also helps support the walls and make them build the cathedral much higher. So also in the sides of the marble, you can see kind of lightly alternating horizontal lines in the marble. And that is inspired by an Islamic style, and it was the height of fashion at the time. So the campanile, which is the bell tower, that's the part everybody knows and recognizes as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So It also has blind arches on the bottom level. Each level going up higher than that has typical arches. I find the construction of this to be really interesting, and I am just going to read a little bit to you because I didn't memorize the dates and I want to get it right because it's fascinating. So, construction began in 1173, but they stopped work after the third level because they knew already that it was leaning a little bit. And they stopped for quite a while trying to figure out what to do. 102 years later, in 1275, they began building again and added a few more levels. And then they stopped after the sixth floor because it was leaning even more. So for 66 years, they didn't do anything, trying to figure out what to do. And then in 1350, they decided, okay, let's call it quits. I am not going to add any more floors to this. And they topped it with the belfry because until then, it still hadn't had the bell added to the top. And the whole purpose of this building was for it to be a bell tower. So I find that interesting that, you know, I had always imagined when they started building it that they just built it until it was done and then it started leaning, but it didn't. It took a couple hundred years for them to finish it, stopping along the way and trying to compensate for something that started leaning from the start. And, you know, I love history, and I hope you enjoyed knowing that little bit of it too. So let me go back to the full frame of my painting here. I painted this, you know, typical sunny day in Tuscany toward the end of the day. And I just found joy here. I hope you enjoyed this tour. To see more paintings like this, I have included my website in the description. Or if you would like to see more paintings in progress, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm on all the social media. So thank you for joining me. And until next time, ciao, ciao.